Hey, so it seems like recently there's been even more to do with the Holostars situation. Now, if you don't know, obviously there's been a lot that has been going on in regards to this group, the Holostars JP group in particular, right? And recently they announced the fact that they would be downsizing and that the Holostars talents wouldn't be getting much support, if any at all, in terms of events and stuff like using studio space and all of this kind of stuff to help them out. Now, again, it seems like we're starting to realize the kind of extent that this is, what they mean by downsizing, I guess, as we also have seen that many of the members have also left or are planning on leaving. Obviously, you can see there all of the graduation dates or the concluding the streaming activities dates. They're all around June 8th, June 9th, June 10th, July 5th, and June 25th. So again, obviously some of them are set to be in a couple of days time. And well, it seems like there's been one post that's been going pretty popular lately. And it comes from one of the members that is going to continue to stay and do their activities under Holostars. And there was a question that came in saying, why doesn't the official Holostars celebrate the 7th anniversary? And they say because the person in charge at X is no longer there. So yeah, what they're saying is that the support for the actual Holostars page is no longer there either, which again is very sad to hear. And of course, that is coming from Olga, one of the members that will be staying. And he says, yeah, there is nobody there to actually run the page and to celebrate the fact that they've been going for 7 years, which of course is a very, very, very sad. Everyone loves to celebrate an anniversary whenever it comes to a VTuber group or agency or literally anything, right? And they can't do so because again, there's nobody kind of there to run it. Now they say today is Holostars JP as JP's 7th anniversary, and the official X account is silent due to lack of staff. Both the fans and the talent are understandably upset. And yeah, they say cover-sign is the 7th anniversary, and yet the official account is dead silent. This is bad. Notice it quick, at least for appearance sake, somebody an adult. And yeah, so again, a lot of people have kind of, I guess, misunderstood in terms of what they really meant by the downsizing, right? Because some people thought that potentially there could still be some hope, right? There could be some hope in the sense of they still would run stuff like the Twitter accounts or all of this kind of stuff. But again, I just don't think that is the case. I think, obviously, as we can see, there's nobody running the account anymore. So it isn't like they're just not getting like events and they're not getting studio space and they're not getting kind of support on these big collab things that they want to do. It's also they're not really getting support in terms of, their Twitter page and things like that as well, which, of course, is the kind of extent of the downsizing that they mean by this. And again, you can go and say, hey, cover, mind passing me the official Holostars X. Some people would, that he's just asking to run it himself, which I think is crazy. Is it for real? There's absolutely nothing from the Holostars official side. So yeah, they're saying, in fact, even the members who are scheduled to graduate are still part of the group right now. Isn't this the last anniversary of all 12 members together? Hey, management, can you hear me? Why is this happening? And obviously, yeah, I think a lot of people are upset because obviously this is going to be the last time that all of these members are together. As we looked at the graduation dates here, none of them have graduated yet. This is going to be their last time together, and this is going to be their last anniversary. So, many people saying, well, although it might cost the company a little bit of money, because obviously at the end of the day, all of these downsizing things are to save money. Although it might cost them a little bit of money to, kind of celebrate their anniversary for one last time, it is kind of a celebration of what they have done over the last 7 years and, the final celebration, right? Which obviously I feel like needs to be kind of recognized and maybe needs to have some kind of form of celebration, even if it is something as little as a Twitter post, right? I think it should deserve a little bit more, though, because then you can actually hold something that would be a kind of important, final kind of stream or final event that would kind of like, I guess, end Holostars, right? But I think it is also the case that they don't really want to make it seem like an ending, because there is the case of there are still people that will be streaming under the Holostars name. So again, that's probably why, but it's just weird that they don't celebrate this anniversary considering that it is the last one. They say, man, I never really liked to keep up with the drama anymore, and didn't watch Holostars as much as I should have. But the fact that it's their 7th anniversary, meaning they've been at this for 7 years and nobody's celebrating at cover, is super sad to me, which yeah, I think is true. The cover should really just let them go and allow them to have ownership of their models and channels at this point. It's obvious they have no plans and no support. Why treat them like this? So this scenario sounds kind of like the Japanese banishment room exit strategy, where they push an employee off with little to no support until they voluntarily quit. And I think it is, one of the good things, I guess, about this is it seems like they have all sat down with these people and had a little bit of a talk about what they want to do in the future and explain, the extent of the support that they will be giving them, which isn't a lot. So again, obviously that's why all of these people have decided to leave, because they felt like, it wasn't good enough for them. And obviously some people decided to stay because they felt like maybe the Holostars name or whatever can push them forwards and can, give them a lot of publicity, right? So again, I think that is something that a lot of people have been discussing. Then people seem to be confused about what's happened at Holostars JP. Let's be clear, the branch is closed. Talents have been given the option to continue on individually if they want, but Holostars JP as an entity, as a group, has effectively ceased to exist. I thought Cover was pretty clear about this in a very polite, indirect Japanese way, but apparently there's still confusion. They had a long run, but the lights are off and Cover is just waiting for the last of them to leave the building. This isn't doom posting, this is obviously what's happening. So yeah, obviously a lot of people are saying, like, this is essentially one of these cases where they're just kind of waiting for them to leave now. And I do think it is one of those inevitable things, right? All of these members that will be staying, that have stayed or whatever, they're going to drop off one by one eventually, right? And whether that's going to take, weeks, months, years, it doesn't really matter. It is going to be one of those things where it is just going to slowly, start filtering out until, there's no one left and, Holostars just doesn't exist, right? Again, it is very interesting to see as to why some of these people have decided to stay, and as to why they want to continue under Holostars. I guess maybe it is because, they've had such a history with it and all of this kind of stuff, and, they don't want to leave fans or whatever. But again, I feel like, this probably could have been an opportunity to start something new, right? And just try to make the best out of the situation. But of course, yeah, there's going to be still some people a part of it. And you can see now, well, we're starting to see now the kind of, what they meant by downsizing, right? We're starting to see the effects of that. And some people thought it wasn't going to be that bad, but, we can see that without any kind of 7th anniversary celebration or whatever on the Twitter page, it is pretty obvious, how little support they will be getting going forwards, which of course was all explained beforehand, right? But yeah, I mean, that is essentially everything on the Holostars situation. I just wanted to cover it because I thought it was a little bit sad and that was happening, but hopefully things, do look out for the talent, whether they're leaving or not leaving. And yeah, I mean, it is pretty interesting, right? But if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.